Okay, everybody, we are back. Welcome to the weekly blueprint. This is not live. This is a recorded session of the live session because the live session got messed up. I did the whole show, folks, and it went nowhere. It's gone. Like it doesn't exist. I was recording for nothing because something wasn't lined up with the YouTube feed. But I do believe I know what happened, and we should have that corrected. But let's go ahead on and get started on this particular segment of this show. I am very interested in doing this one because this is now starting to get into my particular wheelhouse. We are going to be talking about the flippening. Is it back on? Okay. This will get some of you excited, some of you Ethereum fans out there. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do like we always do. We're gonna talk about the what, the why, and the what next. That's how we break these down. Okay. So we're going to start with, of course, the what. And the what in this is going to be the data. Well, what is the data saying? Okay, the data. So if we look at just the price action of Ethereum, all the buzz going on, if you're hearing some of the headlines, it was earlier this week, it was saying that Ethereum is up 18.7% over the last 7 days. So that would have probably been like around Monday when I got this data. So now, while Bitcoin was trading flat at a negative 1.2%, so the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio broke a key resistance level during that. And this is kind of exciting because this means that it's pointing towards the start of altcoin season. So we're gonna be patient and we're gonna see what happens, how it all unfolds. But we're gonna get a little closer glimpse as to the possibilities of what's going to transpire. Okay? So, with that, we talked about the price action. So now we're going to talk about the ETF inflows. This is a big one because if you remember back, when was that? That would have been 2 years ago. When we had the Bitcoin ETFs. Or was it a year ago? Time is just going by so fast. I haven't even, man, it's crazy. But anyway, the ETFs, July 10th is when the Ethereum ETFs launched. And we're like within the first 2 weeks, I mean, they already netted like $560 million on those ETFs. So that was definitely a contributing factor to that little surge that we that made headlines. There's another factor in there, which is the on-chain metrics, and we're going to look at those at a glance. And the daily active addresses are up 12%. So that means activity is starting to buzz on Ethereum. So people are they're waking up their wallets. So activity is starting to happen. So it's not dormant. And we're going to get into why that is happening. That's what's coming up next. So we're looking at the price action, the ETFs, and the on-chain metrics. All three of those. And now we're going to say, why is this happening? The narratives. Okay. For the Ethereum side of this, looking at it, you got to just look at the core narrative of it, which is basically utility. Now, we're going to be getting into some interesting terms with Ethereum because, I don't want to jump ahead. But anyway, we're going to talk about the first level of utility with Ethereum we're going to talk about is staking. The staking yield. Now, Ethereum is not like Bitcoin where it is just a store of value. The Ethereum has actual you know, working components to it that will allow you to do other things other than just buy it. It does really have utility. And when you hear people talk about staking yield, for those of you who don't know about that, Bitcoin is made by mining. And if I'm not going to get into that process here, but if you want to know about it, at the end, I'm going to point you in the right direction to get a nice little quick lesson on that for free. But going back into what we're just talking about here now, we are talking about staking. So Bitcoin uses mining. Ethereum was also proof of work, which is mining. And now it went to proof of stake. So what that means is you will have certain whales out there. A whale is a person who has a large amount of Ethereum. And what they will do is they will take their Ethereum and then they will put it like basically stake it. They put it aside and they put it in. It's like having it like almost like saving it in the network, almost like in like you can think of it like a savings account. And what they're doing is they are the transactions are getting validated through their stake. So they are validating the transactions get validated, and if a mistake happens, then they run the risk of losing their stake. So that's how we keep things honest in Ethereum. That is a pretty short, quick explanation of it. But now, as far as staking goes, that's one of the elements of utility that is driving the reason why you're seeing a lot of the activity you're seeing. The other one is going to be your layer twos. Layer twos is a layer one would be Ethereum. So a layer two would be like Arbitrum or Optimism. Those are two layer twos that run on top of Ethereum. What they do is they are solving a problem on the layer one. So with Ethereum, one of the two biggest things on there is going to be the fees are high. During peak times, the fees are high. You might do a transaction, and hell, I've seen sometimes. I mean, hell, I might have to spend. I mean, it's easy to spend $30 on a transaction. I've seen it during a peak time. Once, I think it was like 70, and I think I might have even done it one time. I think I paid it one time because I really wanted that transaction. That's crazy. But anyway, the other aspect of silver is you always hear, Ethereum is that you hear Bitcoin called gold, digital gold. Well, I like to describe Ethereum as the digital silver. Why I do that is because the same way that gold is a store of value, that's the same way Bitcoin is a store of value. Ethereum, the same way silver has industrial utility, well, Ethereum has utility in a similar way from the standpoint of, once again, I told you, you can, for staking, you can use it that way. NFTs, ride on that. You have DeFi. I mean, the list goes on. But basically, that is the utility for Ethereum. You can view Ethereum almost like the world computer, and Bitcoin the store of value. Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency. It has the second largest market capitalization. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to that we were hitting on was the pro Bitcoin side. So now we're going to flip the coin. Bitcoin maxis, you might hear that term. A Bitcoin maxi is a Bitcoin maximalist. A Bitcoin maximalist is a person that views Bitcoin as being the creme de la creme of all crypto, which it is. It was the first, and it's perfect. That's the beautiful thing about Bitcoin. The code is all in the code. It's perfect. I mean, perfect. That's the reason why it's so big. So, but maximalists view all the rest of this stuff as just a bunch of noise. They don't, like Ethereum and all these other ones, they don't really mess with anything other than Bitcoin. Are they going wrong doing that? No. No. Are they missing out on other opportunities? Yes. Yes. And this is where the diversification part comes in. But before we get into all of that, let's talk a little bit about Bitcoin, the Bitcoin side of things. Okay. So as I said, Bitcoin maximalists, Bitcoin is sound money. Sound. That's why maximalists love it. I love it. What's not to love about it? But Bitcoin represents true decentralization. Is no single point of failure. If you remember seeing about the banks, I forgot the name of that. What was it? I can't think. The Silicon Valley Bank or whatever it was. But anyway, a lot of people got hurt on that. And you see, that's a single point of failure. Bitcoin doesn't have that. Bitcoin can't go down. I mean, the price can drop. Yeah, of course the price can drop. But you hear people talking, oh, it's going to drop to zero. Anything, I guess, is possible. But guess what? If Bitcoin dropped to zero, I'm going to be happy. I'm definitely buying some more. I mean, I'm rigging it up. Matter of fact, all of you sell all your Bitcoin. I'll buy it. Trust me. If it's going to go that low, I'll take it. I ain't worried about it. I'll take it. But it's not going to happen. So, it's fantasy. Now, going into the Bitcoin here, let me get caught back up. That's why I like having my notes, because I like to go on tangent. So, I got to get pulled back in here. So, now, the other aspect of this we're going to talk about is the absolute scarcity. It's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. So, that's the other thing that's attractive about it. With fiat currency, they can turn the printing press and it starts rigging up. So when you see they just passed the new $1 trillion bill, every time. That's all they're doing is printing up money. Fiat currencies. And it's not just here in America. Every country that has fiat currency, it works the same exact way. They print up what they need. But it also deflates your money, because just the same way that you have, remember when you were in school and that person just brought they got the hottest, latest shoes out, whatever, and everybody wants them. Those things are valuable, whatever. I mean, hell. But once everybody in the school is wearing them, it's no big deal. It's not valuable anymore because everybody's got it. Same thing happens with your money. When more money goes into circulation, it dilutes the money that you already have. Bitcoin doesn't have that problem. Now, and this the singular focus of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, it is just the absolute best monetary settlement layer in the history of money. There is nothing better than it. And I love having these discussions with the gold people, because I like gold too. But the thing about it is, Bitcoin will surpass gold. It's going to surpass gold at some point in time because it's better than gold. It is better than gold. Gold is physical. You can only have so much of it. You can't try and take $1 billion worth of gold with you overseas. What you got to do? You better rent a freaking damn cargo ship, and man, the logistics of that is crazy, isn't it? I mean, you gotta. What happens if the boat sinks? Your gold's in the bottom of the ocean. I mean, anything can happen. But Bitcoin, all you gotta do is have 12 words in your brain. Nobody can extract it out of your brain. You're good. You have your money. You take it anywhere you want. Gold, you can't do that. That's why maximalists love it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, we have touched on Ethereum. We've touched on Bitcoin. So now you see the angles of both of them. Okay? So now let's see what is the institutional angle. So why are institutions buying Ethereum now? Why are they doing it now? Why? Well, it boils down to one thing, folks. Diversification. Think about it. This is something that happens really every crypto cycle when altcoin season starts, because everybody will flood Bitcoin. Bitcoin gets its peak, it peaks. And then once it peaks, then people start looking for other more aggressive returns. So therefore, altcoin season starts up. So when altcoin season hits, that's when Ethereum, your Solanas and Cardanos and so forth, they all start taking off. And then that's that craze that's going on. That's the diversification, because the more diversified you are, you're ready for all of the different cycles of the market. Your money is always doing something. So when this one here is going up, you might have one going down. So you always going to have something that is going to be doing this. So your net return is going to be positive. Okay? That's the point of diversification. Well, that's the goal of it. Of course, it's not guaranteed to be that way. Nothing is guaranteed. And anyone tells you that, you better run. Now, let's see where we at here. Okay. Now, the diversification. So we're talking about digital gold versus the digital silver. And institutions are buying it. They're buying an inflation, a hedge against inflation with Bitcoin. They're buying the utility and the, I guess you want to say, the future with Ethereum. That's what's going on. So, searching for greater returns is why I think this is happening. People are looking for more aggressive returns on their money. And Bitcoin is really it's kind of becoming a little boring now. I mean, there's so much adoption in it, and I love seeing it. I love it. It's becoming very stable in comparison to what it was. Because, I mean, you would see, I remember the last cycle during this time, Bitcoin was, I think I remember seeing like it was at 30 something thousand, and then all of a sudden, like by the end of the year, boom, 30,000. It doubled. It went all the way up to like about 68,000. It sure did. So you don't see those kind of swings in it anymore. You don't. It's really becoming very normalized. I love seeing it. It's outstanding. Great. Love it. Now, let's talk about, we talked about the what, we talked about the why, and now we're going to talk about the what. What's next? So, we're going to give you the strategic outlook of this here. So, I got 3 scenarios of where I see this going. Okay? The first scenario is the hype rally. Okay, Ethereum's momentum fades as the ETF inflows normalize, which I mean that makes sense for that to happen. For once the ETFs have been out there and everyone's gotten in and done their thing, of course it's gonna slow down. That's definitely one scenario. The next scenario is the real shift, like that whole Ethereum Bitcoin ratio that I was talking about, establishing in a new higher floor. So if he does that, now that's really exciting. That's really exciting because that's a pretty positive sign that we're getting in altcoin season, and that's the season I'm looking forward to. So now scenario 3, and this is BBA's take: the great bifurcation, like both of them. So both assets rise, and they capture different market sectors, which is like you got Bitcoin, which is going to be your like gold. It's going to be pretty much your everyone looking to hedge inflation. Those people, basically, the long term view. That's the Bitcoin side. Ethereum is going to be your utility in that side. So both of them. That's what I see really. But when both of them, that means altcoin season is going, and I really do think that we are going into some kind of unprecedented times, because from what I'm seeing, there's nothing is really resembling what it was doing before. I mean, I'm hearing all kind of people having different kind of takes on it, and I'm just sitting back and I'm not. If you sit over here and think that you have this thing figured out and you know what it's gonna do and this and that, you just setting yourself up for. I mean, I know some people that know some people that are pretty good at doing it, and I am not gonna sit back and sit over here and think that I can predict when it's gonna. Nobody can predict that. They can use some serious good analytics to kind of put yourself in a situation, but it's more of you have to just be analyzing it and know the signals to look for. And that just comes from experience or just learning. Now, so basically, this is not a all or nothing game. It's not that. Some people still think of this like, okay, you just go and put all your money into Bitcoin and then just let it ride. If you look at history, if you did that, there are people who've made gambles. I've seen people who have actually took loans out, took debt out, borrowed against their home to buy Bitcoin. And guess what? It did work. It's working out for some of them. It is working out. But all of this stuff is very complex. It's very challenging, very intimidating. And that's the whole reason why I started BBA, because of that whole chaos. Everyone needs that calm in the chaos, because this is where my being a Marine comes in. See, in the Marine Corps, we don't run from the chaos. The chaos is what we're listening for, and that's what we're going for. So we're not running away from it. We're going to it. That's what you do in the Marine Corps. Locate, close with, and destroy that enemy. So with this, I see all of the smoke, but I do this with everything. I've always had this ability. I mean, I see through all of this stuff. And this is why I have another channel, and I can't wait until I get that one going, because I'm going to be talking about some real good stuff over there on that. But here is just purely blockchain, and I'll probably talk about some AI stuff about that. But this is purely the whole business side of things. But I process stuff differently. I've always been this way, and I always can see through stuff, see the angles of it, and that's what helps me in this. You can do anything you put your mind to doing, and I firmly believe that. But I want to basically sum this up this way, because a lot of people I see, they get what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. And how you overcome FOMO is by educating yourself. That's the only thing that's going to fix FOMO, because what is fear? False evidence appearing real. So if you know the truth, you know what's really going on, you understand this stuff, you're not going to fear anything because you know it. Or if you have a trusted guide, someone that you can bounce it off, or you have a platform that you can go to and all your answers will be right there, that's another thing you can do. So I had told some of you that if you wanted to know about understand blockchain, that I was going to give you a solution later on. Well, that solution, for those of you who are interested in wanting to understand how mining works, I created this boot camp. It's a free course. You can take it. Go to join.blockchainbasicsacademy.com. If you go there, it'll take you to that particular funnel for that, and you will be able to, for free, go and take that boot camp. That boot camp, I came up with that concept of that analogy that it uses to explain how a block is, when you purchase Bitcoin, what happens to your transaction. I came up with that. That's one of the things that I do. I love to break stuff down and just figure out a way to give it to you and for you to understand it. I have experience doing that because I used to work for Rico USA. I was a technician there. I was in sales there, and I was also a what they call a technology application specialist, where I went and trained people on how to get the most out of that big, massive investment that they made. And I was very good at that job. Very good. So I also have a financial background too. So I was used to have my Series 6 license, life, health, variable annuities license, and I have my mortgage broker's license as well. So I'm well-rounded. I do have a well-rounded background. So yeah, I'm not just just coming at you with just some BS. No. No. But I really do want you to check out that boot camp. If you don't know blockchain, it's free. Check it out. I also have something else that is real near and dear to me, and that is, I can't stand scams. So I created a red flag checker that's on my website. It's free. If you have something out there, you question it, like they're promising high returns or any of this other kind of stuff, some of this stuff, you might find a new coin, and take the information that you just got off of this stuff, go to my red flag checker on my website, blockchainbasicsacademy.com/checker. That'll take you directly to it. If you go to it, answer the questions, is going to basically flag that project for you. It's going to tell you the severity of concern you should have for that project. I did that because one of the easiest ways to lose your funds is through scams. I've been scammed. That's right. Been scammed. And that's why it's near and dear to me. That's one of the big reasons why I created this, because I don't want people to have to go through a lot of the stuff I've seen. And I mean, I came out easy. I've known people who lost a lot, because there's a lot of crazy stuff out here. So you have to learn to be safe in this space too. You can't just come in this thing and just willy-nilly it. You can do that and you might be really sorry. So you don't have to be alone in doing this. You don't. And that's the whole reason why I created BBA. When it's a community in there. I mean, I thought about everything. I thought about all the components of what somebody would need when they're doing this thing. And that's what I came up with BBA. So go take a look at the free boot camp. Take a look at the free red flag checker. I also have another free tool on there that I did for people, because I know another thing that frustrates people is some of this technical jargon. So I don't have all of the terms up there, but there's a few of them, the common ones. So if you go in there, it's called the Jargon Buster. If you go in there, you can punch in certain terms, and it'll give you it'll explain to you what that means. Okay, so I did my best to try and give you what you need to kind of navigate this space. And of course the platform itself, now that's for if you really want to dive in. I mean, when you get done with that, you're going to be good, because I have all my courses have exams on them, so you'll get an exam after each course. You even get a certificate showing that you passed it. And I have AI assisted apps. I have AI apps I created in there that will 24/7 be available to you to help you learn this stuff. If you want to learn blockchain, you will learn it, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're going to learn it. And the other part about it is, it's not like some kind of boring thing. This AI app is like this. This is what I was thinking about for you guys when I put this whole thing together. You give it your learning style. You tell it what your experience is, if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So even if you're an advanced learner and you're sitting up here, you want to learn, you're talking about ZK rollups or something like that. You can go to town with it. It'll explain it all to you. You can do. I'm here to tell you, it's pretty badass. It's pretty badass, and I'm not saying it just because I created it. It's pretty badass because I hold myself to high standards, and I'm not gonna put some junk out there and put my name on it. So it's definitely not that, and I just can't. I'm here to tell you, this thing is gonna be big. It's that good. It is that good. So, but like I said, use the free tools. Go check out the boot camp. Do all of that. If you want to dive deeper, you want to know, you don't have to be alone. Like I said, I also have that community in there, the sense of community. You can ask questions. You can collaborate with people. Like, there's people who pay money just to join a community. There's content creators out here who go and spend money to go and have a community so that they can have that kind of a thing, like a forum type of a deal and all that. I have all of that in there. All of it. And the price is crazy. It's basically nothing. I mean, I did this because I don't want money to be an object. I want people to know blockchain technology. That's why I did this. So I'm not going to keep rambling on about BBA. Basically, the nuts and bolts of this particular time we're having here is I want you to leave this knowing Bitcoin is one thing. There are other things out there other than Bitcoin. But when you look at the other things, make sure it's got utility. Like Ethereum. You saw. This the reason why you're seeing the surge with Ethereum. Is because of its utility. Ethereum is strong. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So take all of this, soak it in. You now see that you have a guide, somebody here that will show you the way on this whole crypto space. So let's do it, folks. Let's do it, cause I'm ready, and I can't wait to get into my other channel. My other channel is where I'm gonna really be doing it over there. We're gonna be talking about some deep stuff. I mean, just to give you an idea, we're going to be talking about over there anything from, like, when I talk about, like, I have a history of money course on my platform, but what I'm going to be talking about over there when it comes to history of money is going to be something, I'm going deep, like deep. The kind of deep that some people might not even want you to know about it, but the information is there. I mean, it's not like the information is hidden. It's just that some things are out there, and it has to be there for you to find it, but that don't necessarily mean that they want you to know it. Okay? Now, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be talking about. But I'm going to go ahead and get ready to end the show. But I just want all of you to know that this whole crypto space, it's challenging. Yes. It can be, and I know, and it's exciting. You see all the, especially if you're one of the lucky ones that just got that, you got in the right place and you saw your money. I mean, you might have doubled, tripled your stuff. I mean, some of you did. I mean, if you got in, I have been telling people for years now to get into freaking crypto. So those people who listened and people who got into this thing before the election, oh, you were looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure, because I know my stuff looked good after that. But now done dumped it all into this, a lot of it into this. But anyway, I want you to know that you're not alone. And I'm here for you. So until I see you next week, peace, best wishes. Have a great one. Till next time. This is Derek Staley signing out.